Okay, so redistricting is the redrawing of lines between different voting regions of a state. Each district elects an official for state legislature. The process of redistricting seriously affects the democracy of America because the possibility for gerrymandering, which is intentionally drawing regions that favor a specific political party, because it's required for district maps to change and account for population changes, it is extraordinarily easy for parties to favor themselves in the creation of maps, especially due to the Supreme Court's unwillingness to limit gerrymandering. When gerrymandering occurs and specific regions are designated based on their assumed political inclination, the democracy decreases because the voting is no longer about electing the official who best represents the people. It becomes about the party in power trying to stay in power. The Arizona State Legislature versus Arizona Independent Redistricting Commission case originated because of voter approval of an independent commission in 2000 in Arizona. And the lawsuit was made by the Republican legislature leaders in 2012 after the new districting map came out with 4 regions guaranteed to Republicans, 2 to Democrats, with 3 undistinguished swing regions. According to an article on the case by Fox News, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg wrote that there is no constitutional barrier to a state's empowerment of its people by embracing that form of lawmaking, taking the liberal approach. 3 other justices agreed with her. However, Justice John Roberts accused Ginsburg and the other justices of approving a deliberate constitutional evasion. Roberts made this claim because, as written in the Constitution, the time, places, and manner of holding elections for Congress shall be prescribed in each state by the legislature thereof. In the words of the Washington Post, the court went on with the loose interpretation of this part of the Constitution by defining legislature as simply a body of people elected by the people, making an independent commission fully constitutional. In the 2010 Arizona census, Republicans seriously stacked the cards in their favor, and in the 2012 elections, the Arizona Republicans won the majority of the House by 33 chairs, despite the fact that Republican candidates got 1.4 million votes fewer than the Democrats in terms of the majority vote. This is a pretty clear example of gerrymandering in action because the setup of the districts played a significant role in the outcome of the election, and the system's results were way far off of the majority vote. In the Arizona Legislature versus Arizona Independent Redistricting Commission case, the Supreme Court ruled to uphold Arizona's system of using an independent commission to draw electoral boundaries. Because Republicans had previously held 68 out of the 98 state legislature chambers, the Supreme Court's decision delighted America's Democrats, because they would finally have the ability to have districts created without any gerrymandering from the Republicans through the use of an independent commission. And, of course, the Republicans were pretty upset because they viewed the independent commissions as unaccountable commissions of unelected people, according to Matt Walter, the president of the Republican State Leadership Committee. He argued that the Constitution had already set up appropriate boundaries of checks and balances on redistricting through elections. In the words of the Washington Post, if voters don't like the way districts are drawn, they can vote their legislators out of office and, in the next election, pick people that they like better. However, Walter fails to recognize the difficulty of actually electing different officials because of the way that the majority party in power sets up the district system. The cycle makes it incredibly difficult for the party with a minority in legislature to change their representation in Congress, decreasing the nation's democracy because gerrymandering prevents voices from being heard, even if it's the voices of the majority of the population. Because the Supreme Court rules that independent commissions were in fact constitutional, doors have been opened for the nation's democracy. The majority of the states still have redistricting determined by the state legislators, but a good portion of states, including Arizona, Washington, and California, have given the power of redistricting to independent commissions. While having state legislators determine the borders of voting regions does not inherently include gerrymandering, having the option of switching to an independent commission increases the nation's democracy because states now have the choice to change the system if their legislators unfairly create the map. The power still rests with the people, thanks to the Supreme Court's ruling allowing independent commissions. Thank you, and I hope you feel more informed about the United States redistricting laws.